All right, y'all, we back. Still tough talk. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Y'all heard what my little man told y'all in the video before. Like and subscribe. Don't just be watching my videos without like and subscribing. So I want to talk about Diddy. Are we witnessing the systematic dismantling of another black built empire? I gotta compare this to what we watch go down with Bill Cosby. A lot of people feel like they lined Bill Cosby up. Um, I'm not gonna lie, like I followed that case closely, but it's my understanding that Bill never really denied none of this shit. Bill kind of was like, well, everybody was doing that back then, a little quaalude. She loved me in the morning, you know. I don't know. So my thing is, are these behaviors excusable because everybody's doing them? I don't think so. Is Diddy on the same level? Diddy has not acknowledged any of these behaviors yet, but it's been Diddy stories floating around for a long time about behaviors like this, amongst other behaviors that I'm sure will come out later. We're not gonna get into those. But what's really going on here? He settled the lawsuit with Cassie in one day. Record shit. Like I said, the wolves are showing their teeth. It's my understanding there's two more lawsuits accusing him of rape, sexual assault, revenge porn, all type of stuff. What's really going on? Are they picking him apart? Has he gotten too big for his britches, so to say, or is this all bullshit? He's denying these. He's not looking to settle these. I saw a statement from his publicist, somebody saying this is all made up. He never did nothing to these women, and that's that. It's only two now, but I imagine that some more are gonna come. So, what y'all think? What y'all think is going on? Are they trying? Has Diddy gotten too big? Is did the system feel like they had to knock him off his high horse, or is Diddy a creep? Which one is it?
Everybody.
Everybody got a Diddy story, but it's been a long time. So I'm feeling like, why now? Cassie came out. She said what she had to say. But why did it take so long? Cassie said what she had to say. She got her bread real quick. Bop.
Yeah, but I don't. But maybe that wasn't her sole intention. Maybe her sole intention wasn't just to get her money. Maybe her intention was to 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 be the one to lead the. I don't want to call it a movement, but maybe open the gates for people to feel more comfortable. Like if his longtime girlfriend can go after him and say whatever, then maybe these other people will feel more comfortable um to file lawsuits or make their allegations or whatever. And I think I don't know if it was my mother that said something that that's why you see like Mayor Eric Adams has
Oh, I forgot about him. Yeah, they doing him some type of sexual assault charges.
something like that is like the end of the time frame that people can make these allegations like whatever what is it called when it's a
The
time?
statute of limitations?
Yes, it's ending like this month on cases that happened X amount of years ago.
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
I don't think it's like I don't think there's some type of like bigger conspiracy. I think there is really and I don't quote me on this, but I believe there's this month or whatever or this week or something like that was the last day that people could make these allegations. So it may seem like it's a lot of them coming at one time, but it's that people have now have this deadline. So it's kind of like one of those things like do or die. Like if you're saying this happened to you, if this transpired, if you have a story or you have an allegation or whatever, you have to do it now. And that could be also why she settled so quickly. Doesn't necessarily have to be about simply just her going after the money or needing some coins quickly or whatever. It could be that, the statute of limitations was.
But I don't feel like she settled quickly. He settled quickly. He wanted up out of
I
there.
mean, because you have to figure this way. They were in a relationship for a very long time. So even if his allegations about abuse and things like that weren't and he's denying it. There's other things about their private life that would have come out into play, and there's probably too much of that to expose. If you're living a certain kind of lifestyle, you're dealing with a certain kind of thing. You're talking about drugs, you're talking about sex. Does he really, at this point, that his children are all old enough to like read, follow along, participate, things like that? He has a new baby. He's trying to establish himself as love or whatever he's calling himself these days. Do you want all of those exploits exposed? Who he slept with, who he might have played with. There's all types of rumors about his sexual.
That's what I'm saying. There's all type of rumors floating around.
And as his girlfriend of like 10, weren't they together like 9, 10
Something
years?
like that.
she's probably got a plethora of information that she could expose. So that's probably more about like preserving his brands than like a this like a statement of innocence. That's what I would think in a case like that. I feel like with Bill Cosby, why he probably maybe allowed that trial to transpire because his stance might have been, and again, I didn't follow it, was that that was the type of sex people were engaging in. People were popping quaaludes and having sex. That was just like how
Yeah.
sex was going. So in his mind, how was that like he was doing what was normal at those times? First of all, and he must have not felt that maybe that was a lot of that was inappropriate because he was also married at the time when these things were happening and he's been with his wife. So I don't even know if anything, maybe he just thought it was cheating and not really inappropriate behavior. And people's mentality about what's sexually appropriate has changed a great deal over the years as we become more
Every day.
as you get older. There's things that I'm sure that you or I have engaged in that you or like with females when you're younger when you're like, oh, that could have been a no, or that could have been like, oh, maybe I did feel pressured, or maybe I did, maybe the age dynamics made me feel like there's so much things that you're not aware of when you're going through them that have come to light now, like that a lot of people could have been engaging with what they thought at the time was consensual sex with even if they were adults, that now when you look back of like how the dynamics of the relationship were, like even people in relationships, right? Like being in a relationship doesn't mean that all the time your sex is consensual.
This is true.
It's like our minds are expanding to these things, and I just don't want to disqualify people's experiences, like, to say, to belittle them or to take them down, like to just financial. And then maybe there are some of that. Maybe there's some of that is strictly like revenge. Like they don't want to fuck with me no more, or I need bread. And there's always going to be that level, right? Like in any kind of anything, right? Like people are mad or upset or jilted or whatever. Yeah. But I just think that like we're so much more maybe aware, even since COVID, about like sexual assaults, what constitutes a sexual assault. And that's why I think like men or women can stand on business and say like, no, I didn't assault that person in 93, but your 93 awareness of sexual assault
is very different than it is now. Yeah.
Because in 93, I would say that I thought a sexual assault was like if a person is molested or if a person is like raped. You know what I mean? Like I didn't really have there was no areas of gray. And rape was like when somebody snatched you in the bushes and forced your sex.
Yeah.
And that's not like rape is so much more nuanced. Sexual assault is so much more nuanced. So I think that when you get these powerful people saying, no, I didn't do this, no, I did that, I don't necessarily know that they think they're lying, because if they're not to them like ripping off people's clothes, forcing them like, harshly to have sex, they don't realize that there could be other nuanced types of assaults they committed. Or even comments, like how you talk to women in the workplace, how you talk to women, like, or in public, just in general. Please, when we grow up, people is always walking up to you, touching your hand. Hey, mom, come here, hold. What now?
No, absolutely. I definitely.
Hold the whole motherfucking police on a nigga that walked by you and grabbed your hand. Hey, and that was like regular.
That's regular. Yeah.
Hey, mom, come here and hold your hand and hold you like still to talk to you about whatever. And if you think about that now, that's a lot of pressure for a female then to give you your number.
I'm from Flatbush. We'd be in the party and walk and pull her.
Yeah.
I'm like, come here, ma. And she looked like, who are you? Like, now come over here. And they went and danced with you. Yeah.
You could probably, if you really
going to jail. You're going to jail.
If there's some females that was in a Billboard in the 90s,
yeah,
they could start a class action lawsuit like mental.
You ain't lying. I ain't never thought about that.
Your friends in Brooklyn. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like I just don't want to belittle those experiences. As we get older, I realize that there is so much more to that, and I think like as we have a daughter, like these are conversations that you now have to talk to them about. I remember like date rape was a big deal. I feel like the first time I ever heard of such a thing was watching A Different World. There was like an episode of A Different World with date rape. My mother never talked to me about that. Rape was like being molested by strangers, by family members, or somebody sexually assaulting you outside. A date rape, like somebody that you first agreed to go out with.
But see, what's crazy to you mentioned, I'm glad you mentioned A Different World. This is my issue with the whole thing. So like with Bill Cosby, I don't know what he did, what he didn't do. I knew what he said. But now what happens is they do this and they try to dismantle everything that these people have done. So now there is no A Different World. There is no The Cosby Show. And those shows was was monumental, man. Those shows gave
Well, they
gave
were coming of age
yeah.
stories. I think for a lot of people, if you didn't have like most people didn't have like a Cosby like family, like you might have had elements of that was true in your house. Like you might have had professional parents, but you didn't live in Brownstone in the area that you live. But you had like that, or you knew people. But it was also aspirational for people. A lot of times when we watched those shows, we were around the ages of the children, so they were like our peers. And then when they watched them go off to college, that was inspirational for them to go to college. But then I definitely learned a lot of things from
Well,
these shows.
because of
So
Cosby's
I think,
actions now,
yeah,
our kids can't see that. You got to go searching for those. It's not readily available. I'm sure it's available
yeah,
somewhere.
because I watched the Cosby Show.
So now,
But I don't know if that was pre his trial. But I'm just saying yes, no, and it is hard. It is hard to distinguish that, right? Like so, it's hard even more infamously, it's R. Kelly, right? Like it's very hard. I mean, I have like real legit memories of R. Kelly songs and things happening with them and rocking those songs and what the moments
it's my
meant.
childhood. And it's the same thing with Diddy. Bad boy music. This is my
Yeah,
childhood.
if we had to not listen to Diddy music or Bad Boy or that era, that would be like for me like complete censorship of an entire era of music that I participated. But I think that it's very hard again and maybe more nuanced to just like be able to separate these people's art and their legacies from these things, and one doesn't take away from the other. I think it's like hard to like reconciliate that in your mind, like that I could have really learned a lot from Bill Cosby's like show, and those could have been like aspiration and inspiration, and it could have taught me a lot of lessons. And he still could have been fucking bitches and giving them Quaaludes. Like,
And let's be clear, I'm not saying because I spoke on KRS and his defense of Bambaataa. And this is the argument that KRS used. Like, he did this and that and third for hip hop, and we gotta protect our leaders. He said, like white people do, like they doesn't have anything to do with the other. No, he should still go down. If Diddy was a creep, if he was assaulting people and he was making revenge porn, all that, he deserves to go down for that.
yeah.
But the things that he did,
You can say all
yes, Bambaataa did whatever he did for hip hop is a beautiful thing. It's just set in stone.
Yeah.
That does not excuse him being a creep. He should still go to jail for being a creep.
Yeah, and I think like that mentality that KRS was talking about is like it's almost like when people like about keeping our business at home and not selling when people are molested. But I mean like that he's accused, everybody is accused of molesting little boys. And I think, well, first of all, I don't have no place that I hold Bambaataa. So for me, he's.
I mean,
I understand I understand
hip hop wouldn't be what it is today without Bambaataa.
Yes,
Got it.
I understand that, but I'm saying for me as a person who loves hip hop, that his legacy. If we had to stop listening to whatever his music,
yeah, we're not listening. Yeah, it's not. It's not that.
That era of rap, like that, like early, like.
Yeah, I was a baby.
I wasn't listening to that. I don't know those, and I don't like it now. If I'm going to be completely honest, I'm not listening to that now. Sorry, I don't listen to Cool Herc. I don't listen to I wasn't at the rooftop. I don't know what you're talking about, sir. Like you gotta skip ahead. So
you never been to the rooftop? Not one time.
No, you gotta get me to hip hop when I was about 12. You know what I'm saying? So God bless y'all. You know what I'm saying? Keep it moving. Cool Herc. I don't know these people. Like that's for real. Like I'm not a historian of hip hop. Like take me to when I was about 10, 12 and start me there. But he's accused of like molesting little boys. And from what I understand, this is a well-known fact amongst his circle that not only did he molest these little boys, but he kept trophies of this, a photo album, and people were participating in the systematic rape of these children. So I'm gonna say, yeah, he should stand accused for that, and I'm not gonna keep that in house and keep that a family secret. But I do understand why people have difficulty believing that a person who could create art, whether the art be music or some other medium of art, that's so touching or moving or such a core memory for them, could also be that same person. But it's also a little ridiculous to think they couldn't, right? Because what person is one thing? Like nobody's a monolith. Like people have different elements. So yes, Bill Cosby, the man who maybe was who was cheating on his wife and giving bitches Quaaludes or whatever how you call it, and doing whatever he was doing with them, could also be a comedian, could also not curse, could also like that's just ridiculous. Like, are you like that? Are you one thing? Like, so you're only a one thing? If that was the case, no one would ever give you an opportunity to change your So are you only the person who has felony convictions, or are you also the person who has a master's degree, a KSAC, like who holds a position as an administrator? Like, are you all those things? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So I
absolutely.
get it, but I think like I don't want to belittle people's uh, um experiences if they have been assaulted, if they've been sexually abused, physically abused, emotionally abused. It's just like people just with Dwayne Howard. Or was that name?
Dwight Howard.
Dwight Howard. That people are so focused on him being gay that they're not listening to the actual charges. The charges is that he raped a man. I don't give a fuck. That's the charges, and people are like so concerned. Oh, is he gay? Is he? Pay attention to what's going on. They talk about rape. It could have been a
Yeah, they
joke.
caught up.
They caught up in his sex, and that's what I think. People are caught up in these like other things. Oh, Cassie, who needed money? I don't know her. That lady could have needed all the money in the
I
whole
never
world.
thought that, but again, but
But
that's
whatever.
because it's been stories about Diddy floating around. So when I first heard about
Yeah.
the lawsuit, it never dawned on me that, to me, that Cassie was doing this for money. She's trying to get some money.
No,
That's not what I
it
thought.
took. Maybe she's in therapy. Maybe she's healing. Maybe she's whatever. Maybe something triggered her. Who knows? But I just think like people should be, whether it's old or not, whether we like it or not, people should have the space to pursue these charges if they're real and they're relevant. Not like a smear campaign. And I think that it does seem unfortunate because it seems like it's a lot. Like at one time, but I go back to what I say. I think there's some type of statute of limitations approaching now, and that's why we'll see these things.
Now with the mayor, he was already in trouble for something, and then all of a sudden these sexual assault charges came out. I'm like, this is crazy.
Answer to it is also a little ridiculous. Like his answer to it is like, well, I was a police officer or CGA committed to protecting and serving. I'm sorry, so cops don't rape people?
They shouldn't, and I guess that's what he's trying to hold. And there are people that believe that.
And I'm not.
There are people that believe that cops do not break the law. There are people that believe that under no circumstances is the cop going to break the law.
Very high rates of alcoholism, substance abuse, domestic violence, like a lot of things. So, I mean, and that's a lot of professions that are full in that vein where those numbers are going to be higher because of whatever the stress levels of the job and stuff like that. But to say that because a person is a police officer that they don't do, maybe they don't break the laws that like they're arresting people for often, but there's other laws I'm sure they're breaking that are different types of,
Yeah.
different.
Remember that movie with Charlize Theron? That's how the monster. That's how she was killed, and one of the dudes was a cop. And if I recall correctly, yeah, that was a true story. He was buying sex. I believe he tried to physically assault and rape her, and she killed him. And then she found his badge and was like, "Oh shit, this dude is a cop."
So that's just a ridiculous. So that's a ridiculous defense, but and or whatever. Because in any profession, you could find anybody to do anything, right? And but I just think like I don't know. I wish I did know if that was accurate. That there's some type of statute of limitations approaching. But I just think that I don't want to be dismissive of women's like experiences of sexual assault because I just think that as I've gotten older, in my 40s now, what I understand to be assault or to be uh, I don't know, just yeah, maybe it's just so much more evolved. And even how I maybe would view like even women assaulting men, like things that you would like normally like we pass off as like the boys that we know that had sex with older women that we just thought like that was no big deal, not big deal rather. And now we're like, oh no, she's a predator. Like she could be a predator too. It's like so much stuff. And I just as we become more informed and if we're becoming more informed and we can see these nuances, if you're the victim of those things, you now can look back on a situation and be like, oh, that wasn't what it was supposed to be. And and that person who was the perpetrator may not see it that way either, and may have done that continually to other people, not even understanding what it was. Because I do think there's something different about a person who like knows that they're a sexual like predator, offender, like things like that.
Well, there you have it, folks. We got Diddy, we got Cosby, we got Eric Adams,
and the others. Dwight Howard.
Ooh, yeah, I don't know why I keep leaving him out. They kind of that story's kind of not like they kind of I don't even know what's going on with that kid. Like the story hasn't really been promoted. They caught it. They worried about the wrong things. Yeah.
Gay. They're involved in all of the wrong things.
Yeah, I seen videos. They pulling up footage of him from years ago doing stuff to men on the court that they could perceive as being gay. Like that really has nothing to do with nothing. And the man, if I'm not mistaken, the man acknowledged that he went to go meet with this dude. Like he's not denying that there was no type of sexual interaction. He's saying it was consensual.
He had gone there for consensual.
Yeah. So all right, he said he was gay. Like, what's the problem? Like, move on.
And then it turned into something he didn't sign up for.
Yeah.
The fuck.
I don't understand what the problem is.
Fuck Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard came in a room with some other nigga. Whoa. Wait, hey, I didn't come here for 2 dicks. I came here for one. Or maybe, mine and yours is 2, but it should be 3 dicks. I don't have nothing to do with nothing. Anything. It could be 3 vaginas. Hey, bitch, I came here for this vagina. You can't come here with somebody else's vagina and try. No, ma'am.
Yeah.
Not this vagina. Yeah, like what? People are so that's narrow-minded. Like we have to move. But see, that's why people will attach all these conspiracy theories to things because people want to tease out what they think is really the important fact. No, an assault on another human being is wrong.
It's an assault. That's it. There's no getting around it.
And if you condone that, then there's something wrong with you.
All right, y'all. Let me know in the comments what y'all think. If y'all want to hear a deeper discussion, let me know. But know this. We not canceling all the Bad Boys music. Diddy's a creep. If he's a creep, he could go to jail. He could spin on his head in Attica, San Quentin, wherever they go send him. But we not canceling Biggie. We not canceling Craig Mack. I just was watching it is what it is, the episode where they had Gillian Wallow on it. We not canceling Mace. We not doing none of that. So y'all can get that out your head. It's just not gonna happen, man. But y'all know what it is. Still Tough Talk. Like, subscribe, share. I'll holler. Peace.